Hi, this is Jim the Keys bartender coming to you from the Blackwater Siren in North Key Largo.
Beautiful North Key Largo.
It is a beautiful day, and it's a gorgeous day. It's not too.
It was almost threatening to rain a little earlier. Of course, this time of year you got a pops up just about anywhere.
Yeah.
Odds are somewhere between here and Key West, and if you include the Everglades up there, it's raining somewhere all the time.
Yep. We had a lot of rain over. I was in Lakeland over the weekend. I did a couple shows from Lakeland, and my daughter had a synchronized swimming competition up there, and we decided to book at the same hotel. Cool. Yeah, and it was just as beautiful as I remembered it. They were accommodating, very friendly. And when the other parents of the kids, they were staying at the Hampton or Best Western, and it was the same price. Yep. And then when they saw the hotel, we were staying at the Terrace Hotel in Lakeland.
Well, damn, we could have stayed there.
They came by Maker's Mark, Buffalo Trace. The bar we ended up going.
We're having connection issues. I'm just gonna. Oh, there we go. We're live again.
You were live again. I don't know where I left off. When did it?
I don't know. I just saw it scrolling there a couple minutes ago.
Okay.
So what we'll do is I'll give you a hard copy of this, and you can post up the complete episode.
No. Why don't we just go right into this? We're in Blackwater Siren.
Yeah.
In Key Largo. Blah, 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 blah. Speed it forward. It's a beautiful day. It rained a lot. Not a lot of breeze going on out here. The water looks kind of flat out there.
I'm so tired of hauling gear.
Yep.
Man.
The heat?
It's killing me.
Okay. Well, when you got to think about investing in a dolly or something like that.
I've got a dolly.
Yeah? Is there an easy way? There's no easy way of doing it, I guess.
No.
How about, you know what? You know what's gone by the wayside in the last 150 years? Child labor. Where you could hire a child for $5 a day.
Dude, I'd get my daughter-in-law to come do it, but she wants $20 an hour.
$20 an hour? Holy
Probably.
Shit. Okay, that's more than the musicians get here, after you consider setup and all that.
Sometimes, yeah.
Well, I was just telling, we did have a brief unannounced intermission. Now, I was up in Lakeland. That's where my family and I evacuated to, and we were up there, and we were staying at the Lakeland Terrace Hotel. It was beautiful, and the parents were staying at the Hampton Inn, and they came down to meet us before we went to the restaurant, and they were taking a look around, looking at the place, and I was explaining to them it was the same price of what they were staying at. We ended up going to this place called Fresco's, and they had, no lie, 30 bourbons. I did not play it that way. They had 30 different bourbons there.
There you go.
Very high end. You know, to some $50 a shot. I went with Buffalo Trace, which is, I guess, an entry-level
high
call bourbon. I wouldn't even call it a premium, but I think it's good. I actually started liking, this is the Keys bartender, I liked Rebel Yell.
Rebel Yell, Country Gentleman. Man, if I want a sour mash, I want a sour mash that tastes like sour mash. These super
Rebel Yell is a bourbon.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
yeah, you like sour mash.
Yeah, I want one that tastes like. I don't want one of these super refined, super duper.
Rebel Yell isn't super fine.
I know, but some of them it's like, well, yeah, it's nice, but it's almost like getting the same Scotch little things, which is nice. When I want bourbon, I definitely want a little bit of burn to it.
Okay, I think there's plenty of burn. I drink it neat, and I noticed that I feel a lot better. You can't really, if you're not drinking beer and bourbon, unless you're shooting it and stuff like that. If you're drinking it neat, it's really hard for me to get wrecked on it, and I don't. So we were 200 feet from our hotel, and we had a great time. We hung out. We drove back up 27, going, if you haven't been in South Florida, we went up the turnpike a little.
27 goes right up the middle of the state.
Yep, it does go middle, and it skirts Okeechobee, goes up there, and you got like a lot of farmland. You got a lot of cattle. It's cattle country.
Cattle country.
In there.
You do know Florida's number one export.
What?
It's not oranges.
Beef.
Yeah,
there was a lot of grass-fed cattle I was looking at. I saw some different variety, too. The Longhorn.
Bunch of Brahma.
Yeah, Brahmins. They look very healthy and happy as much as
Big old fat cows.
Yeah, they're sitting out there. I hope they use that Temple Grandin method for slaughter. You know what I'm talking about?
Heard
The
that.
thing, yeah. So we drove up there, and if you ever have the chance to drive through a state, a lot of times you don't get the same. You definitely don't get the feeling for the state when you're driving up.
No, if you drive up I-95, you're in one city from Miami all the way up past West Palm.
Yeah, the megalopolis.
Yeah, you're in one
of
city.
South Florida.
Just the signpost change.
Yeah.
If you drive up 27, you will see definite different areas.
Little towns. You see, and there's a distinct characteristic between these towns, and hence the title of our show. Because I was talking to Bill before the show about a slight change post Irma, but it was going on for a while.
The demographics have been changing down here for years.
So if you're driving up 27 and then you go up there, you see some of these towns are really quaint. A lot of money in those towns.
You get up towards West Palm, and you got that area out there where they got they got high dollar development out there. It used to be all farm country. Man, now you got $2 and $3 million homes sprouting up right next to 27.
These places you go in there, you see a small rural town along a pretty healthy, heavily trafficked, but not that crazy. There's not a lot of traffic going up 27 for some reason. I don't know why. It's a beautiful ride, and it's not when you put it into Google Maps. I think it's the tyranny of the decision engine that they're going to give you the path that takes 5 minutes less. You may be going 30 miles further, and you miss out. That 5 minutes, you're really missing out. And if there's an accident on the interstate, you lost all that.
Oh, and riding up 27. Sometimes I'll take the turnpike up to 27 up near North Miami, and I'll hop on 27 because there's not a good way to get from the Keys to 27.
Well, we've seen these towns. Some of these towns are more impoverished at the lower end. You see a lot of worker towns. People, work for Domino's, sugar, and things like that. In the other towns, there seems to be a lot of more wealthy rural towns, and you see the buildings reflect that, and the houses and things like that. What it made me reflect upon when it came back, what happened in the Keys was there was a lot of damage to these smaller places, trailer parks and things like that, motels, these mom and pop places.
Yeah, it's all getting bought out again.
Yeah.
So, when I moved down here, I paid less. I paid a hair less than $40,000 for a old 60 trailer on a canal.
Mm-hmm.
That was in '98.
For the land and all that, right?
Yeah, land, trailer. Well, actually, it was a trailer. Basically, it was this old trailer from the '60s stuck between a stick built had on and a big ass screen porch.
Okay.
And I paid a hair less than $40 for it. And what was that? 2000.
What year was that?
'98.
That's still good. That was still for down here a really good buy. Now,
that was a buddy price because I knew the guy that had it.
That land itself would probably go for what now?
Well, I sold it in 2006 for $260,000, and I wasn't even in the market to sell it. Guy comes knocking on my door.
Yeah.
Goes, hey, I'll give you $200. I'm going, give me $3. He's going $230. I'm like $260. He's going, done. I'm out in 30 days.
Wow. Well, after Irma, you see places, especially some of these mom and pops south of Tavernier Creek into Islamorada, and they're on the ocean side.
Yep.
One was I'm trying to think of some of the names. Is one the Lighthouse?
Oh, I couldn't tell you.
These couple places. And what happened?
I just drive by and go up. That's screwed.
And in the Islamorada, we had the Islander Resort, and they were totally.
They got wiped out, man.
Totally wiped out. Chica rebuilt. Chica was high end before.
Islander
was a step or two below that. Yeah. Was more middle class. But the middle class places are seeming to disappear. They're seemingly going by the wayside.
The low class places are getting rebuilt into little bungalows and things. Because down by, where's that one over Bayside, right down there? What was that? Got the big signpost with the guy in the raincoat.
I'm not catching.
I can't
I'm
remember
sure.
the name of it.
Well, I mean, if you're talking about, there was a place that was developed as a campground, which was the point of view.
Yeah.
And that was, what do you call it? A lot for a night was you couldn't touch it for less than $100 a night. That is a campground.
Seafarer.
Seafarer, okay.
Seafarer. Even Seafarer, man.
Seafarer?
They're talking about
Oh,
rebuilding all the bungalows and the place next to Seafarer did the same
It
thing.
was happening a lot. Largo
pulled all
Lodge,
their
Largo
stuff.
Lodge is now a destination resort. Largo Lodge was a little mom and pop
Yep.
thing with bungalows. You go in there, and it wasn't, and a lot of these places needed updating and stuff. And it's logical. Obviously, you're not going to get financing if you're going to say, well, we're going to be building it for middle class families to come
we're
down.
going to charge $69 a night.
Yeah, you're not going to get finance. You tell them that you're going to sell out the whole place for $18,000.
What's that
Now you're
one by Dolphins Plus? They got those big. They built those big houses back there, and they're renting those. For
Dolphins Plus is owned by Dolphins Plus.
Yeah, I know.
And they built those. They didn't tear anything down.
No, but they
that
built
was there,
those.
and
What are
they
getting for
built.
those? They're getting like $12,000 a week.
Yeah. So the idea that the keys are for middle class people, it's kind of died by the wayside. You may have people that you don't have the trailers anymore. You don't have the campgrounds are disappearing.
Campgrounds are disappearing. The trailer,
Calusa?
the trailers are disappearing just due to neglect and zoning because that
the whole parks were wiped out, and they're not being.
That
they're
property that I bought when that guy bought that, because I live right up the street from it now.
Yeah.
When he bought that, dude, that trailer was out of there as soon as I was done. They pulled it out, knocked everything down, built a big ass stilt home on it.
Well, that's the trailer parks are gone. They bought before I got here. There was a couple in North Key Largo that were closed.
They're still jacks.
How about that dive camp in Rock Harbor? There was a dive camp.
Oh, yeah,
That's
that
still
was over by
Snappers
no,
down there. It is
up a little north of Snappers. That was by
okay. Yeah,
Oh,
is it still there?
No,
But whether
they knocked that down.
Yeah, whether it's there or not, post Irma, when something gets, you get your insurance money, you're rebuilding. They're not rebuilding for middle class. You dump a couple $1 million into a property. It turns out, in the advent of being able to book your vacation online, you could do a lot of research. They tell you when you go to a place what your average dinner costs and things like that. You come out. Listen, we're probably not going to get a lot of money from the Tourism Council, and you know what? It's better to be truthful than
we fought with Key Largo has fought with the Tourism Council for years. So now they at least say the Florida Keys and Key West.
Yeah,
because for years they just said Key West.
Yeah,
that was their destination, man. Monroe County Tourist Council was all they did was pump Key West.
Well, just the idea of being able to live down here in suitable housing. We talked about liveaboards. I mean, we could see a couple boats right out here. We're looking at one right there. That's a liveaboard.
Probably.
Right there. It doesn't even have...
that's a Columbia. That's actually a nice boat. Probably a 42, 43 Columbia.
Yeah, but... Yeah,
that's probably a nice offshore boat. It's got standing headroom inside.
Well, yeah, but the sails are gone. It doesn't have any.
Yeah. You could make that a good cruising boat again for the fraction of what you'd have to pay for outfitting something already done.
Well, okay. Well, with someone's living on that, and chances are there's no air conditioning. They may have some AC to run. Not AC. They may have a little solar. To run a fan.
Yeah, they got some fans going, I'm sure.
They got a couple fans and stuff like that. But
I used to be able to run my AC on. I've done a bunch of boating over the years, and I had a whole big slew of solar panels.
You were able to run your AC on that?
And I was able to run. I couldn't start the damn thing. I'd have to fire up the generator, start the AC, and then turn it on high. And once the startup surge, once the big AC surge run, I had a really decent. True sine wave inverter.
Yeah.
And that would be able to, my solar panels on a good day would be able to run that as long as it didn't kick back on and try to start. So I just turn it all the way down.
Okay, and you
And-
just keep it cool the whole time.
Oh man, it was freezing. I'd actually open up the companionway and sit in the cockpit and just let the cold air waft over me.
Well, that being a suitable, obviously some people can live that way. Now other people can't. You got to get on your. You got to have a little.
Well, that wasn't my
dinghy?
that was not my full-time abode.
Yeah, but these people live on these things. They got these little dinghies and stuff like that. They come in. They get their fresh water. All their the food they need for however long, and then they go back on the boat. A lot of these people, I guess, some are working. Most are working.
Yeah, most guys I know that liveaboards have steady jobs, do work.
It's a rough life, but it's a cheap one. But then your alternative, we were talking about rent down here.
Well, no, and you've got the other extreme on that. I know a lot of guys that are liveaboards that live in the marina and pay $1,200-$1,500 a month for rental slip plus the cost of their boat.
The Pilot House Marina, I heard that one. That's they get. I think it's something like they're charging like
20 a foot
more.
Oh, it's more. It used to be
a lot more.
It used to be 20 a
A
foot.
lot more. It jumped up. My buddy Ed. Remember Ed used to be a bartender at Carboni.
Yeah, they used to be 20 a foot.
They jacked the price
that
up on a lot, and they people started leaving, and then they started offering the deal. And they said none of the liveaboards could live on the stationary dock. On the fixed dock, they'd have to go to the floating docks.
Yeah, none of those guys care.
Well, they said a lot of people left
Oh,
when
yeah.
the price. Well, combined
once the price went up.
with the price going up, they cared a lot, and they left.
Yeah,
So
I mean, because what people don't realize is if you actually keep your boat up, if you've got a nice boat, you're spending $12,000, $15,000, $18,000 a year just on boat upkeep.
well, I'm just thinking that there's no cohesive development plan down here. So you're driving down Route 1. We have Monroe County prisoners that handle the mowing and all that stuff, and they do
No, there's not a whole lot of prisoners doing that.
They don't do that mowing anymore.
Well, they do the trash pickup. Mowing's a county job with a pension and.
Well, I'll tell you, up in Key Largo, they're not barely keeping up with that stuff.
I
They put whatever money they got some sweetheart deal for some nurseries to put up stupid trees in the median that block your view when you're getting across the road and not being able to see. I mean, that's apparent. It doesn't take someone of a great intelligence or forethought to realize that when you put some obstruction.
That's kind
but that's not
That's kind of a mixed sword there because that's actually stopped I've seen that stop a couple what would have been head-on crashes by people getting collected by the trees in the median rather than.
I would
drifting
venture that
across.
the death rate did not drop too much on that there.
If
that all.
it's half and half.
Or maybe a little more.
You got some advantage to it. You got some disadvantage to it.
Yeah. So with this being said, if you think about it, when you're driving down there and you see billboards, McDonald's, Arby's, some of these places. Almirada fought a battle against having chain things. First, they let in
Problem with
CVS.
Almirada is they incorporated, and now they've got another level of stupid people involved. In
Well,
government.
no. What I'm saying is no cohesive development plan. Their idea was first of all, they didn't want to have any changes, so Publix wasn't in there for a year. Now, 2.5 weeks ago, Publix 2 weeks ago this Thursday, Publix opened that local supermarket, and they opened on a because of the way it developed. As you know, if you listen to the show regularly, after 90, the road becomes from a 4-lane, 2 lanes south, 2 lanes north. It becomes a 2-lane. And they decided to put very near at the beginning a supermarket. So now in season they're going to figure out what's that going to exactly feel like now to have that in there.
It's Almirada. It's going to be. I don't care what time of day it is. It's always blocked up in Almirada.
Yeah, and there are no through rounds. But when you drive down, when you say no cohesive development, is that you got these low end things that you wouldn't have in a planned community. A planned community show up. Like a planned community would not have billboards. They would not have fast food restaurants popping up. They would not have 3 mattress stores.
Do we have 3 mattress stores?
We have 3. We have mattress the mattress place next to.
Oh yeah,
and then we have the Tempur-Pedic, and then we have Royal Furniture, which I count as that. So in a place that has 6,000 people year round, they have 3 mattress stores. And when considering, stack on that, where over 50% of the people buy their mattresses
from
online. Online, yes. So what the reasoning for that is, I have no idea. And I'm not. So okay, now all these places have to have people to work in.
Yeah, I know.
You have to have, if you're opening up a McDonald's, until they have the
JGT,
robot,
man.
until the robots come in and start.
I'm telling you, JGT. You need to. Me and you need to take a ride up to Homestead and back on JGT one day. It will open your eyes.
What's JDT?
JGT, the transport company that runs the buses from here to Homestead. You'd be amazed at who actually.
No, the people that come down here though.
You stop at Publix, boom, the bus fills up. You stop at one of the hotels, boom, there's 12
I apologize,
people get on.
and it has nothing to do with a group of people. Anybody, I'm not stereotyping any group of people, but if you have to spend an hour and a half to 2 hours, actually round trip, 3 hours to 4 hours a day waiting for and riding on public transportation to get to a job that's a couple dollars over minimum wage, and that equates to 16 to 20.
What's
20
minimum
hours
wage now? 8.
Well, okay, $16 to $20, 16 to 20 hours a week,
right?
To get to a
Let's put it like
job.
this. If I can make $8 up in Homestead, I'm much more comfortable coming down, riding the bus for a couple hours, and making 16, 18 down here.
I don't think it's that big a jump.
Yeah, it is.
You think the person at McDonald's makes twice as much down here?
I know the housekeepers do.
Well, that's different because the housekeepers, that's a factor of the outrageous cost of the rooms, where people give you $5 a day for making up their rooms.
I know the
when you're up in Homestead, you're lucky to get $1 a day as a tip, just the tip part, if anything at all.
Yeah, I know the housekeepers down here, man. They bank in comparison
the
to the
tipping,
girls working
the
the
tipping
low-end
part
ones.
it throws in a little, but even when you call tipping bartenders and stuff like that, I'll have another bud.
BWERRUN, beer run.
Beer run. So what I was saying is, if you factor in the cost of that 16 hours a week, and Bill was saying, okay, if you are doing the room service and you are cleaning up the housekeepers, yes, you can make twice as much. That does make sense. But if you're working at Kmart, McDonald's, Burger King, something like that, or any of these other chain stores, and you have to come down here, then they do not factor in the cost of living down here. So you're saying 16 to 20 hours a week traveling. You could work 10 extra hours a week, make more money, have more free time, and have a better quality of life not coming down here. So what I'm suggesting, if you're willing to give up that amount of time to get a job, it means that you're virtually unemployable. So I think what we're getting is the people that can't get jobs near their houses, and they have to travel further. Same thing goes for other service jobs, and you just, in order to be a teacher, imagine Florida has one of the lowest of the 5 states they pay for teachers, public school teachers, and how the hell they get people down here to work, I have no freaking idea. I work with a teacher, a high school teacher. She's been a high school teacher for years. She's a great high school teacher, and she works 3-4 nights a week. And got to do your lesson plans and all that stuff, and still be a teacher. That is hell. And they're not living high off the hog, these people. How about Monroe County sheriffs? They got a lot of these guys room together and stuff like that. I don't know how they make it. Bill and I recognize that we're fortunate enough to have pretty sweet deals where
we were
living.
talking before the show started, and we both have pretty much sweetheart deals just because we've been down here a while. That before everything started going up,
and when people really recognize that you're reliable and you're an asset to their property, you're not going to be tearing it up, and you're going to be preserving their property. You're going to be keeping it look good and all that stuff. They don't have to worry about getting that. But then there's people who say, well, I'll just charge.
Yeah.
Dude, what's an efficiency right now?
Oh, 12, 15?
That's up in the Upper Keys.
Yeah,
Key
12,
West,
15?
$2,000.
At least two. You can't touch anything in Key West for less than like 23, 24.
Yeah. That's some. I mean, this is. We mentioned you have Manhattan prices. So let's say combination now. Now we're thinking about this whole thing, cost of living. Now forget about, and let's put in. So we've established that the people that have to come down here to work, right? They're willing to travel 16 to 20 hours. Now, if you're getting premium for it, that's understood. There's a lot of people that aren't getting premium. You're not getting premium working in Publix. You're just getting, maybe there is an upgrade of $1 or $2 an hour. Yeah. Kmart, definitely not. And Kmart looks almost like the same. I hate to say it, the thing with Kmart, but the people that get out Kmart are the same people I see that would be waiting for the bus getting off, that would get off the bus in Philadelphia for the prisons. To go and visit the people. And it's not, it has nothing to do with race. It just has to do with, if you have to live that way, it's because you have to. You don't have a choice.
Well, and a lot of the thing that we're getting down here now, especially, is since a lot of the working people have actually left the Keys and we're becoming much more tourist oriented. There is no labor market in the Keys anymore.
Oh, when I was up Lakeland, this is the thing I wanted to say. We had this great server. I'm sorry I forgot the guy's name. Abby would remember. And we commented on Crater Lake, and we told him where we were from, and he said he lived in Key West. And the reason he left was because of the cost of living. He said he couldn't afford it. And he's up there. I'm sure he's not making nearly as much, but he says it works out to be, he gave himself a raise.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, an old girlfriend of mine was a boat captain down there.
Yeah.
And she finally ended up bailing out just because she was living 4 deep in a 3-bedroom place with a couple musicians and a stripper. And, it was just nonstop drama at the house. And she just finally bailed out and went, look, I can make twice the money working. She's out working by Little Bat now. She's running crew boats out there making twice the money. And she got a place up in Louisiana for damn near nothing.
I'm gonna make an admission to you. There's a couple times when I lost my cool at work that I should have been that maybe I should have been taken in and given a talking to. Down here, I think they're a lot more flexible on your behavior and what constitutes an unemployable person. If a lot of places, if someone was drugged out or drunk,
after years running dive boats, charter boats, and shit, as long as you show up, man, that's all I ask.
I mean,
please just show up.
There's some people I know that are permanently high and work in a dive boat. And a dive boat, that, you shouldn't be high when you're serving someone because you can't recognize maybe if someone's impaired, you may be over-serving. But if you're on a dive boat, there's people's lives are in your hand. You got to check equipment. You got to check your regulators and all that shit. So many things could go wrong on a dive.
Yeah.
Where and it's a couple minutes and you're dead. I learned that, and I'm not a diver, and I know with those regulars.
Technically, all the boat crews technically are drug tested.
No, I noticed that you said that. Once you say technically, I know what that means. It just means.
Yeah, for some reason, the consortium that I was involved in when I ran, knew because I had a serious offshore unlimited master. So they knew I was going. So I'd pop up every week. I pissed in that jar more. I just walk in there like, oh, you again? Okay, come on. And I got some mates and stuff that just never showed up on random.
Okay, so we got this now, right? You got people that don't show up, people that apply for jobs.
No, they actually they would have shown up had their number come up, but their number never came up. They pull the consortium that I was a member of, which shall remain nameless, was. What was the old can't remember, one of the physicists in the 40s. The generation of random numbers is way too important to be left to chance.
Fermi?
Might have been Fermi.
Okay, and
but yeah, their random numbers were pretty much randomly skewed toward the people they know didn't smoke dope.
Well, okay, so we're painting a picture here. So, and now the last thing is the prices. Now we're going to talk about a room, getting a room down here. And if people come down here, they're so shocked at, let's say, what you consider more affordable, where you'd get someplace else.
Cheapest sweetheart deal I can get when my mother comes down is usually $100 a night.
That's a great deal.
And that's only because I'm friends with the owner and the manager of the hotel.
No one's going to come down here and open up a Motel 6.
No, I can get my mother, and they know me. They've known me for 20 years. They know my mother. They like her. I can usually get, if they're not booked solid, I can usually get her a room for $99.
The island. What was that place in Almirada? The Lantern Motel. Lamplighter, and it what's it advertised? $59, $69 a night.
Yeah, they had one room.
That's that. Okay. Well, it's going to be a shithole. If $69 a night, $79 a night, $89 a night, and guarantee is something hasn't been renovated, and the mattresses are probably like 15 years old.
Yeah, I think the book rate at the place that I get mom in is like $189, something like that.
Okay. There you go. And then it's not uncommon to find maybe $250 to $300 a night. So
we're all good. How y'all doing?
So you pay a premium price on that on rooms. You got maybe even to stay at a decent resort, $300.
Yeah, probably.
$300 a night, something you find comfortable and you want to go in the pool.
My buddy Carlos, who is now recently retired, but he's a senior exec was a senior exec for a national insurance company, so he's traveling all over. He used to come down. What was a Maracay? That was a
Americay. What?
A Maracay.
Americay Resort. Yeah.
Down.
It's the Pelican and
a Maracay.
The one Maracay, they're all owned by the same people.
Where
that
used to be. That was
where the restaurant is and all that. Yeah, nice place.
That was a Hampton, I think.
That was a Hampton one time.
That was a Hampton. He used to come down here, and their book rate was like $300. And the only reason he'd come down and hang out was he was using his hotel bennies.
Okay.
Because he had the free stay nights.
Okay, so we're weaving that picture right there. We got that now. I work at one of the more affordable restaurants. Listen, if you're looking for something that costs the same as the mainland, you're putting your health at risk. Right? Chances are, it's almost like going on a street corner in New York or Philadelphia and have the guy that has the grill and he's cooking on there.
Oh man, I love that stuff.
It's good. But you know what? You don't know how long that chicken's been out or that pork or anything like that. So you're dealing with that.
I'm still going to eat the hell out of it.
Oh, yeah, you're going to eat it, yeah. You're going to deal with it. But
I have eaten more Mexican street
food.
The
sticker shock when people come in, you see them come in a place, they look at the price and they leave. And they don't realize when they come in there, we're one of the cheapest places. Now, if you go on vacation and you
can go across the street from the one he's talking about, and you can pay $30 for a pasta dish.
Yeah,
a pasta dish, a bowl full of pasta. You can pay $30.
$30, okay.
And this is not even filled with scallops. This is not a Diablo or anything that. This is like a chicken pasta dish.
And now, okay, and I'll say the Catch Restaurant is one of the more affordable places, and all the keys for the type of food you're getting and stuff like that, and the quality is good. Mm-hmm. And the same goes with a Blackwater Siren too, right here. And you get these.
We'll do a free plug for Shipwrecks.
Oh, Shipwrecks too. Shipwrecks.
Yeah, we'll do a free plug for Shipwrecks.
Shipwrecks, and if you're not worried about the decor and all that stuff, you are set. Because you know what, you have to, because of how tight they are in the county of with health and safety. They got to be on top of that. They have inspectors that are pretty tight, which I believe they should be. It's people's health. But, okay, there's the sticker shock. So if you're not used to going on vacation and eating at McDonald's, Burger King, and that's what you want to do on vacation, if you do that on vacation, then you're set. But then again, you're going to have to stay in a hotel that's kind of shitty. So for the middle class, they're putting the keys out of reach. And then when you do find a place, a lot of them have horrible customer service. They put up.
Oh,
remember,
yeah.
they say they put up with things that you normally wouldn't put up. No call, no shows. How many people? I worked.
No call, no show, no job.
Yeah.
Except down here.
There's a couple places.
No call, no show.
I
Well,
work-
if
the
you're going to show up
places that-
tomorrow, we'll use you.
Well, the catch is that way. I think that the way they hear that if you don't show up and you don't call and you're not in an emergency room, you don't have the doctor's note and stuff like that, that's it, as it should be. Unless you, obviously, if you got the police come and they rescue you from someone's shed out back, doing a little black snake moan.
Mambo.
Yeah, black snake moan.
Oh, Mambo.
Yeah, that one with
Samuel L. Jackson
and Christina Ricci.
Yeah.
And so you have that. You have a poor service, high prices. Yeah, I'm not going to get any. You know what? We didn't get any offer from the Development Council yet, so I'm not even.
No. And I'm not even going to look across the canal and start.
Oh, what goes on there?
Oh, dude.
Well, we'll know.
As long as you don't shoot somebody, you're going to keep your job.
Mm-hmm. So, put that all together.
Okay, no.
What are we doing to ourselves?
I'm going to go there because I pulled in there last week because Sandy was begging me to come up and hang out. We pull in. The guy wants to look in the back of my van and make sure I don't have a cooler back there.
Oh, that happened a lot. That people would pull into when I worked at Gilbert's. People would come in. They have a cooler. There's a small beach there. They got about 50, 60 foot of beach on Blackwater Sound, and it's beautiful.
I just
but
looked at him, flipped him off, and went, "F you, we're going across the canal."
yeah.
It's like, dude, if you haven't realized by now that this is a local vehicle and I'm a local, and trust me, if you don't know my ass, you ain't going to get the chance.
Well, there's places up here. You have now obviously you have the Ocean Reef, the gated community, 20 miles north of here.
Yeah, we don't get to play there much.
No, who does? And they got the security force and the gates and all that stuff. And, 1/3 of the people that in the North Key Largo get busted on the out-of-state warrants are people trying to get into
The reef.
the reef, and they run their driver's license or identification, and they find out it was either stolen or it's not stolen, but they have outstanding warrants.
And they hold them at the gate, and the sheriff shows up. And
So technically, without all this unplanning and no cohesive development, not having the strata of all these things, they want to be a high-class resort. They built the Point of View. They turn it into all-inclusive. It's going to be, what's it going to be? Like $2,000 per person, $2,000 a week, or something like that.
You.
Where you get these, they got these modular cottages set up with their own saunas and all that stuff to coax $500 out of you a night, and so you come down and you get all your drinks. You stay in a thing where you could, if you really want to, you could go to Jamaica.
Dude, I can go to I can go back to hedonism. Except
Jamaica.
My wife would.
Bayside. Speaking of that hedonism,
my wife would object these days. But
here he comes.
There he is. There's Mr. Luke Glenn, just in time to wrap it up.
Yeah. So where are we at right now?
Oh, we got about 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Hey, Luke just arrived. So what all this strategy of the high cost of living is doing is that you're trying to draw down. Now it's going to be skewed to the wealthiest people. Where you're talking about the average room is $300, where the really nice stuff is $500 a night. At the Playa Largo, you go in there. There's plenty of places there that cost $800, $900. They got Little Palm Island. I think you got upward $1,200 a night.
Yeah, but that's.
I know, but you're skewing it. So if you're putting these resorts in Key Largo.
Well,
so if you're not going to leave
Little Palm, you really can't add because they've always been that way.
Well, that's fine. That's fine.
They've always been,
and it's actually when you go off that, the whole island's that way, so it doesn't really matter.
And it doesn't matter who you are.
It's a resort.
It doesn't matter who you are. They collect your cell phone upon entry.
Mm-hmm.
There are no electronic devices on
No,
that
but
island.
that's it. And But in Key Largo, though, if you're plopping down,
what's up, Luke?
If you're plopping down $3,000 a week, do you really want to see a McDonald's, a Mattress King,
I was just
Divers
laughing
Direct?
about
You see?
that fucking today. Mattress
Dude, Mattress
Firm.
King,
The
Mattress
fuck?
Firm. What the hell?
No, we were just saying about the high cost of living down here and stuff like that.
Yeah, who the fuck? Anybody that can afford to buy a $3 million house is not going to go to the mattress fucking firm.
No, they're going to get themselves a Marriott mattress. You know, my buddy.
Or a Donald Trump.
I just heard about.
There you go.
Donald,
Be
is that
gold
supposed to
plated.
be
a
noise?
Trump hotel.
Maybe even fur lined.
Well, Marriott has their own mattress. Supposedly, everyone says they're the best, some of the best mattresses in the world. I don't know why that is the case. They have some kind of deal.
I forgot what kind of mattress that me and the old lady bought. Many. It was a long time ago.
You would.
We had a Sealy for a long time, and then Sandy went to Mattress Firm and bought this thing.
Did you ever get one recently? Get
Yeah,
delivered?
Yeah.
How was it delivered?
Oh, it was horrible. They
What?
almost knocked my ceiling fan off.
Oh no! But do you ever seen the new ones now?
No.
Where they come in a box?
Yeah, no, I got one of those. I got one of those memory foam things. Oh my god, that's the best goddamn thing.
I know, and
ever.
they're coming in. Now it's 100 pounds or 120
Yeah, I
pounds a
know.
box, and
It's
the box looks like the size of. Christ, I'd say it's about 4 feet.
It's
4 feet by 18 inches a side.
This
And
one
you
was
make-
probably 20. This one was probably 2 feet by 2 feet by 4 feet, and it weighed all of fucking 100
Yeah,
pounds.
yeah, 100 pounds, very tight.
I got
It's
the
like a
hand truck
box of-
out.
I've had boxes of weights that seemed lighter
Yeah.
than that. But then you open. It was coming when it came off the truck. You go, oh Jesus Christ, Abby's going to kill me. What did I get?
Yeah,
And the person that was delivering said, "Don't worry, this is the way they deliver them. It's going to be perfectly
Yeah.
fine."
It-
And I did
it
it was
puffs
wrapped,
up.
and the way it was wrapped, it was
Yeah.
like
it puffs up, man.
you just got to be careful
See,
slicing
for me,
that
the,
stuff.
the memory foam makes me sweat too much. I sink in. What mine
Oh,
mattress is
they
made
make-
out of to me is like
They
a
make
thousand times more comfortable.
Yeah,
They
they
make-
make it. They make
make
an
it-
airflow memory now.
Well,
Okay.
mine's like I said, mine's an older one, but mine's real
Yeah.
firm because I have to because of my shitty back.
Yeah.
Yep. But oh no, we bought that thing. That's been Sandy
Okay.
moves, I move. Nobody ends up in a because when she bought that shitty one from Mattress Firm, we all ended up in the hump in the middle with 3 cats sitting on top of
Yeah.
us.
So we were talking about the mattress. There's 3 mattress companies. You got Tempur-Pedic, that, and Royal Furniture, and so it's not really well planned.
That's
so
where I bought ours
they're wiping
at,
out.
was Royal
They're wiping out the middle, the middle,
The mom
low,
and pop types.
the mom and top place, stayed in motels. The low end. When I say low end now, it's almost like the homeless. The liveaboards. The guys that come down with their I literally saw when I was going north a guy coming back on Saturday. I saw a guy with a bike and a little wagon tied to it with a cooler on the back and a bunch of bags strapped to it heading south.
There you
And
go.
I
Nothing
know
wrong with
his
that.
prospects weren't going to be the guy was in his mid-60s, he looked like. He could have been my age. But I mean, a hard life's a hard life. So hey Luke, we started around when we start, quarter of?
Yeah, a little earlier. Than
Yeah,
that.
yeah, we
We
did
got
so-
about 2 minutes left because I
2
got to
minutes.
go play.
Yeah, we got to do a play. And we're going to, next week,
Yeah, I'll be working
Next week on Wednesday.
So I won't,
Next week.
I can't start early ever.
how about
Right now.
Wednesday?
Wednesday? I can probably make it on time.
5?
No, that's
Yeah,
fine
good.
because next Wednesday is Sam's last gig with me. 'Cause
Okay, so the
she's,
next Wednesday after that.
Speaking of the high cost of living, a friend
Yep.
of mine who is a local musician and a
Yep.
teacher is bailing out to go to Tampa over to Pasco County because she can make twice as much money as a substitute teacher out there than her full-time job down here.
Well, even if you made the same amount of money for the
It's
same
just
amount of
cheaper to
time,
live up
it would
there.
go a lot further up there. And you know what? I did make that.
That's why I'm driving a taxi now because
Yeah.
because the fucking jam nights and all the guys doing the freebie shit.
Oh, I
and
know. It's fucking
cocksuckers
killing
coming down
me.
here undercutting us. So now, and driving cab isn't really. I mean, it's a little bit it helps, but still, even the cabs are being undercut by this Uber
the
bullshit.
Uber shit.
Uber and Lyft.
And the thing about those guys are they're actually more expensive than we are.
Yep. You doing moms again?
Yeah.
Love that. Keep the number in my phone.
You know what they
Best
should
cab
do?
company
Make a
ever.
suggestion.
I'll be doing the whole thing by myself tomorrow, dispatching and all. So
There you
tomorrow
go.
I'll make some money, but
Okay. Well,
and I already had a goddamn crackhead wanting to run me all over Hibiscus Park while he looked for crack. I'm like, oh no,
Oh,
that's not how this
hell
works,
no.
man.
really?
No, I'm going to
Yeah.
take you here. I'm going to drop you off. You're going to walk your ass around, find your shit, then you're going to call me back, and I'm going to come pick you up and take you where you want to go.
Because I ain't driving around to crack houses and letting Monroe. What oh, well, I wouldn't throw you under the bus, blah, blah, bullshit, motherfucker. Has nothing to do with that. The way the state of Florida law is, if somebody is in your automobile, or if you're driving an automobile and a passenger has dope, you get arrested too. And if it's your car, they're going to and it's your boss's car, they're going to confiscate it.
I have sad news. Remember the teleplay we did like 8 months ago?
Yeah.
Jeanette
Died.
died of an overdose.
Yeah, and that was her boyfriend. I was running around.
That guy, that's him. He was in our place. He was in. He came. You know what? He doesn't know technology we're talking about. But these people we did in our teleplay, they're the ones. And he came in and told me. When he came and told me, he's trying to play off the thing. He's, well, if your blah 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 dies next to you, and I go, you knew. I mean, I think it's saying. You knew. Dude, you told me many times.
If you're eating 4 or 5 Oxycontin a night
and Dilaudid,
what's it called?
Dilaudid. That's what he told me. If you're and Xanaxes and
if you're
he was so fucking wasted.
If you're eating triple recommended dose on that shit, it's just a matter of time. Man.
So he was looking for crack.
Well, evidently he. I thought he was just going.
Where'd he get the? I guess he went. He must have just cleaned out her bank account or something like that.
I don't know. He went to the.
Because he was.
Well, guys, I hate to do this, but I'm up against the time limit.
Yeah.
So
okay.
We're going to have to sign off for today.
Yep. Okay. Listen.
You guys want to pull up the phone and do another one? Do another sub broadcast after
today?
Yeah.
No. We're all right. Okay. This is good. We're going to do one tomorrow.
It's amazingly slow.
Yeah. So tomorrow we're going to have some guests on, and the week after. So this is episode 77. Tomorrow we got 78. We're on a home stretch to episode 100. We're having a big 100 show. I'm going to try to make that something special when that comes up, and maybe we'll throw in a couple shows.
Hey, we could always do a show from the cab.
I like that.
Do you want me to do that?
We can do that.
We could cruise around.
Can I sit with
picking up people? Sure.
Yeah, we could do that.
Oh shit!
Just can't have open containers.
No, yeah, you can on the cab.
Oh, in a cab?
I can't, but anybody else can.
Oh, I can have an open container.
I'll be the designated driver. Yeah, in a cab you can drink.
Woo!
As long as you're not.
Oh no, we got
driver.
Okay.
Okay, I'm liking this idea.
Okay. You know what? Maybe we'll see if Mom's Cab will put us up for that.
We'll do a traveling show.
Yeah, we'll do a show from there. And then we'll talk about how the rates are good. Okay, we got to sign off. Bill's got to get to a gig. This is Jim the Keys bartender. Thanking everyone for listening to us today from Blackwater Siren. Goodbye and have a great day.
Thank you all so much. We do appreciate you all tuning in and listening to us. We'll be back tomorrow night. We'll be having a good old time. We hope that you will join us.